Alright, people, what the hell is up? Here go another shirtless Talking Texans. So the game just over with now. And I had to come outside, get some fresh air, listen to some noise. Because and the game is just over with. And they probably even made it to the guy. I just came straight outside. I turned my Hulu off, walked out here. Let me go ahead and do this shit right here before I go in and watch a couple of podcasts and see how they rip the Texans a new asshole. Because that's what the Texans did tonight. They ripped themselves a new asshole. And I'm getting to the point where I'm actually starting to dislike this team. I am. I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck the Texans. Let me go ahead and get my regular Hulu back where I'm paying $17 a month. Why am I paying $75, $80 a month to watch these niggas? Because this shit is fucking pathetic. It fucking is. It's fucking pathetic. Watching these motherfuckers. I'm like, what are you doing? And then at the beginning of the game, you're like, okay, they done made some adjustments. I see how they done changed shit up a little bit. You know, Bobby Sloak still had a couple of stupid ass calls. But for the most part, I'm like, okay, they done learned their lesson. Fuck no, they haven't learned their goddamn lesson. Because this game is a carbon fucking copy of everything else that happened this goddamn season. Carbon goddamn copy. It makes no fucking sense. You winning the goddamn game. I said in my fucking head. The goddamn offense stops in the second half. They start playing clock ball. You start playing clock ball and you stop trying to fucking score. You start the second half off trying to run down the fucking clock. That's some shit you start doing halfway through the fucking fourth quarter. You don't start doing that shit right at the start of fucking halftime. They stopped trying to put fucking points on the board. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's just I don't get it. I don't get it. And y'all can't even say, okay, they missing this person, they missing this person. But nah, fuck that. Fuck that. All their games have been the same. It don't matter if Nico Collins was in there. It don't matter if fucking Will Anderson was in there. All their games have been the same this whole goddamn year. The only game that wasn't the same, well, the only games that weren't the same was New England and Minnesota. Minnesota blew them out. They beat the hell out of New England. Every other goddamn game has been this shit, where it's a fucking coin toss at the end of the goddamn game whether they gonna win or lose. They had this game won. They had this. How the fuck you managed to lose a goddamn game when the other team had 5 goddamn turnovers? Explain that shit to me. 5. I think it was 5. It was 5. How do you do that? A team full of goddamn professionals. How the fuck do you do that? I'm so sick of looking at D'Amico Ryan's stupid ass face. No matter what the fuck is going. What happened to that shit when they used to show him in fucking in fucking San Francisco? Ooh, woo, yeah. Where that shit at? Where is that shit? Every time you see him, he just like, where is it? You know what I'm saying? And I know he gonna be pissed off because the media gonna rip him a new asshole. I'll get that information later. You know, when they go to the goddamn the press conference and all that other shit, I don't watch that shit live. I go to the people the podcasts that I watch are from those people that do that shit. So I'll get that information firsthand from them, because they gonna have clips and shit, and that ain't nothing that they can say to justify this shit. It's nothing. You can't, you know, and it was like at one point I was like, well, I can't really blame the coaching for some of this shit. Goddamn interceptions. I'm like, that's all on Stroud. You know what I'm saying? It was. It's all on Stroud. Both of them. Can't play, you know, that stupid ass, that third down run that he called. Bobby, I'm just like, dude, man, come on, you gotta move the ball upfield. You can't just keep running the ball in the fucking middle. They had that shit on lockdown the whole fucking game. I mean, you gotta realize what kind of back you got. You know, you ain't got some 4-3 running motherfucker in the goddamn backfield. You got a bruiser back there. You know what I'm saying? I would prefer them to run off tackle and all kind of shit like that, but that shit don't always work. You can't run. You really can't run mixing like that, because what they, you know, running off tackle is different than trying to catch the corner on the fucking, you know, sideline. He ain't that fucking fast, and he got a tendency of hopping up in the fucking air. Just keep your ass on the fucking ground, ass. You know? And he wasn't finna get no yards tonight. They had a beat on that shit from the goddamn start. And hey, well, what we not gonna let them do is let Mixon beat us. Okay. All right. At some point, you gotta realize that. You know what I'm saying? Change up the fucking shit. And it seemed like they did before he went right back to the stupid shit he usually called. Everything up the fucking middle. Everything up for the shit didn't work the whole fucking night. Well, you know, if that's not working the whole goddamn night, you need to get Mixon the ball. They got that one big play out of him. I'm like, how about try that shit? You know, try some other variations of when you can't run the ball with your running back, is give him the ball out in the open field some kind of goddamn way. They managed to do that once. I didn't see it no more the rest of the goddamn game. Like, dude, what? And even at that point in the game, so anytime during the first half, you were like, okay, that shit didn't work, blah, blah, blah. They keep getting these goddamn field goals. I remember I went on the goddamn page, you know, the vent page, Houston, Texas. I like, fuck them goddamn field goals, nigga. We need touchdowns. We need touchdowns. And lo and behold, yeah, you know, you sitting on your porch, motherfuckers creeping up and down the street. I might need to go in the house and get my shit. Anyway, lo and behold, what happens? End of the game come. I'm like, you're not gonna hold this offense down the whole goddamn game. I expected that. You know what I'm saying? Once they start moving the ball a little bit, and I watched the goddamn Detroit Lions play. I'm like, you ain't gonna be able to hold them down that much. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you got them for a while, but eventually something gonna spark. And it did. And instead of the Texans being where they should have been, you know what I'm saying, which is fucking 3 or 4 possessions up. Like, literally, they should have been like 3 or 4 possessions up. This should have been a fucking blowout. Now you sitting there, you up 3 points. Now, all of a sudden, the game is tied. At that point, I'm like, the game is over. It is. The game is over because the Texans offense don't operate like that. It just don't. It don't. It don't operate like that. Everybody started to look like little league players at a certain point. Can't get open. Or can't get no separation. It's whatever the fuck it is. All of a sudden, motherfucker, now, we was doing it in the first half. Now all of a sudden, you know, we can't give CJ no fucking time. You can't give him no time when he roll out. Can't give him no time in the pocket. Why? You know what I'm saying? Just fucking why? Because they don't stay up fucking aggressive. They don't stay up fucking aggressive. The Texans need to Oh, and don't even get me started on that fucking that sack where Stroud lost the fucking ball. Y'all saw that shit? Why is the fumble was caused by a fucking tackle and not like you would think? Fucking Titus Howard is snatching the ball away from goddamn. I know I'm gonna hear some shit on this. Titus Howard snatching the fucking ball. You know, CJ Stroud is in the grasp of whoever was sacking him at the time. He's like this. And the fucking your offensive tackle, Titus fucking stupid ass Howard, is grabbing at the fucking ball as his quarterback is being sacked and caused the fucking fumble. What? What the hell is that? Of all the stupid ass shit, that is the stupidest. That is the stupidest. Because I ain't never seen that shit. You know, motherfuckers step on the quarterback foot or they get pushed back into the quarterback, cause some shit to happen or some shit like that. We've all seen that. Most of that shit is incidental. You can't really fault nobody when shit like that happens. But for your fucking right tackle to consciously grab at the football that's in your quarterback's hands as he's being sacked and cause a fumble. How do you fucking explain that? How do you, as a goddamn football player, how do you explain that? You know, so what the fuck is he gonna say when they get to the locker room? Or what they gonna say when they watch a film and see that shit? What the fuck were you doing? And you better have a goddamn answer. What the fuck were you doing? I couldn't be a fucking coach. On any level. Maybe little kids or some shit like that that don't know nothing. But at a certain point, what the fuck are you doing? This shit is fucking stupid, man. There ain't no game analysis to be had with this. It's not. There's no game analysis to be had with this. Because I was pissed off before the game. I looked at the little inactive players, and I've been watching the goddamn coverage all goddamn week. Oh shit. Oh well shit. You know, Nico Collins coming back, whatever. And then I look at it. Nico Collins, inactive. Wow. What the fuck happened to Nico Collins where he had to be out all this time? If you watched the Texans, you saw him get hurt. But you didn't see him get hurt. This man got hurt catching a 69-yard touchdown. Whoop! You know what I'm saying? You know, one of the little long-ass passes where you just catch the ball and just stroll into the goddamn end zone and then walk off the field. That was it. We ain't seen him since. This man ran all the way down the field. Boom! 69-yard touchdown. Walk off the goddamn field. Next thing you know, he walked into the fucking, the locker room. He out with a hamstring on injury reserve. At least when Diggs got hurt, you seen that shit, even though ain't nobody touch him either. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody touch him either. But at least you saw his shit. He was like, ah. You know what I'm saying? At least you seen when he took the wrong step and that. Out for the season. Okay, well, that shit happens. You know, I'm fucking 49 years old and I ain't torn no goddamn ligaments or whatever, but I have taken a step to where it was like, man, oh, what the fuck? You know, all I did was step. What the hell going on in there? I don't know, man. And fucking Pierce. What the fuck, you know? I mean, he don't do nothing. Why is he always hurt? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, at some point, I'm like, I was one of those people like, man, we got some potential in Pierce. No, we don't. We don't. because he barely plays and he's always hurt. You know what I'm saying? The dude will play, he'll have a game, he might get a return and have about 2 or 3 carries in the game, maybe. You know, no action, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, yeah, he always out with some kind of pull or some shit. His muscles don't like him. And it's always some shit where he out for like 2 or 3 goddamn games. He ain't played. I was just like, what the fuck is up with him? You know what I'm saying? At some point, I'm like, yeah, okay, Dameon Pierce was a thing or whatever. You see his talent level, but at some point you just gotta be like, you know what? We can't deal with you no more. You know what I'm saying? You haven't been able to stay on the field, and we gotta let you go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody want to trade something for him. You know, get a 7th-round pick. Hey, whatever. Player for player, I don't give a fuck. But Dameon Pierce is one of those people I was kind of fighting for the last few years, but not no more. You know, ain't no use to me trying to root for him or hope for him to be on the field to do any goddamn thing if he always fucking hurt for no goddamn reason at all. Now, I was happy to see Mechie get some action. You know what I'm saying? Hutchinson still ain't really done shit. He really hasn't. I'm glad to see Mechie do something because, you know, at least along the way, Hutchinson will get some receptions. Mechie ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't been from him not just being able to play. It's just for whatever reason, this, that, or the other, he hadn't been getting the targets. Even though he's been getting open. He get open, he don't get the targets. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Jets game. Well, shit, he was open. Well, I mean, they couldn't get the ball to him. Just fucking offensive line wasn't doing by jack squat to help him. So, yeah. So, I mean, Stroud can't get you the ball if, you know what I'm saying, the O-line can't keep him upright. In this game, they shuffled some shit around. You know what I'm saying? You got your guard out of there. You stuck another guard in there. You shift your fucking center over to guard, which he played for a while last year, and you put the center in there. Shit seemed to work. You know what I'm saying? It did. It seemed to work. Well, I ain't gonna say it seemed to work. The shit worked for a while. That it was getting blown up in the second half, but it wasn't the same as previous games. We was getting the pressure on Stroud, but it wasn't the exact same as, you know, the previous games with the previous orientation of the fucking offensive line. So I wasn't disappointed with that. I seen they made adjustments, so I gave the team some slack. But even though they made adjustments, it's the same shit. They stopped playing in the second half, and I can't even fault the defense, cause I'm like, shit, you shut the motherfuckers down. It's just the same way they did the Jets. The Jets with all the motherfuckers on offense, you know, you might not be able to hold them down all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? They have talent on their goddamn team on the offense. The same way with this shit. You playing against Detroit, fucking, at this point, the best team in the league. It ain't fucking Kansas City. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Kansas City is good right now. They 9-0, but they not the best team. I've seen Kansas City games. They managed to find ways to win, but Detroit is some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Now they ran into the Texans defense, which is a good defense. So you ain't finna just steamroll them. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna just steamroll them. You know, they will disrupt your shit. And they did. They fucked over the offense of the fucking Detroit Lions like it was nobody's business. Everybody was surprised to see that shit. Yeah, then the second half came along. Offense stopped playing. You know, and Detroit starts doing different shit. You know what I'm saying? They did. You know, but the only thing on defense that I can complain about is that when they had them on the ropes, they didn't keep them on the ropes. Detroit had some third down conversions to where I'm just pulling my fucking hair out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why is this man brought, like, even the last one where I'm just like, okay, all thing you gotta do is stop them right here. And I'm all saying, oh goddamn, I keep fucking St. Brown. And he go and won his ass. Why ain't he fucking covered of all goddamn people on their offense? You know what I'm saying? There should be an eye on him. 3rd and 6 or whatever the fuck it was. And he running across the goddamn field. It ain't nobody within 2 or 3 yards of him. Why? Why? At some point, he'd be like, okay, you run it, whatever coverage you got. This motherfucker here, no. That's it. It's just no. Somebody is locked up the fuck on him. We got 10-1. You know what I'm saying? That's the defense right there. 10-1. We got 10 motherfuckers doing what they doing. We got that one motherfucker whose only job is to stay with him. I'm not a goddamn coach. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hard to come up with this shit. At that point in the game, there's certain people he just no. He do not get the, he do not get a free release off the ball. No, he does not get to run through zone coverage. No, he don't get none of that. If somebody else, let somebody else do it. This motherfucker won't. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say is get the fuck out of here. And I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. Now, I didn't expect for the Texans to win this game. I can say that right off the top. It's how they played that I was concerned with. How are you going to play? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to show up and play against this team that's by most consistency is the best team in the league? How are you going to show up and play against them? Now, if you just want to go by paper, they did a good job. But also, if you want to go by paper, they fucked up. They fucked up. By paper, this is supposed to be a fucking blowout. Not even a little couple possession game. This is supposed to be done. This game's supposed to be over at halftime. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be over at halftime. But no. Because they took Detroit all the way out their game. They couldn't run the ball, they couldn't throw the ball, they couldn't do shit. But what did the Texans do? They started running down there, get the fucking field goals. Let's kick some field goals. We love field goals. Let's score 2 touchdowns. Let's go for the field goal, then miss the fucking field goal, which I can't. At a certain point. Now, last week, Fairbairn missed a couple field goals. Kind of get pissed off at that. And I think even before that, he missed the goddamn extra point. But I can't get mad. I can't get upset with Fairbairn missing field goals when you got this man, all his field goals are fucking over 50 yards. That shit is going, that shit is going to average out over time. At some point, he going to start missing more than he fucking make. The law of averages, man. I mean, it's not sustainable for this man to just keep hitting 50-yard field goals every week. Just blam, 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 automatic. No, that shit ain't going to go like that. It's not. And then you got to see the 2 field goals at the end of the game that the Lions hit. Both of them were near misses. He damn near hit the upright on the right for the first field goal to tie up the game, I think it was. And at the end of the game winner damn near hit the left upright. And I thought that was going to miss. I was like, the Texans probably finna get a break, and it barely squeaked through there. And I was just, it's y'all fault. It was your fault. You shouldn't have been in that position to fucking start with. You shouldn't have been in that fucking position to fucking start with. If you was doing what the fuck you was supposed to do throughout the game, you wouldn't be in a position to where you hoping some crooked foot ass kicker miss a goddamn field goal. It's disheartening, man. It is. It's disheartening. Now, I'm like, I just, and what I can put away from this game, and this is about the only positive, with the adjustments that they made, and the fact that they got 2 starters coming back, 1 on offense and 2 on defense, even though another starter went out with fucking concussion shit, so there ain't no telling with that. Who just came back, Lassiter. He just came back off the injury, and he just, anyway, I don't know what's up with these folks' head these days. They always talking about these fucking super special helmets and all the stuff they got now, but everybody gets a fucking headache during the goddamn game. I'm not even making a joke about that. It's just this. And from shit that don't even look up, motherfucker hit the ground, bam! I didn't see his head jerk or hit the ground. Well, I ain't talking about him, I'm talking about somebody else. Boom, hit the ground, and you didn't see his helmet hit the ground. He landed like on his shoulder, bam, and he like, what? The fuck is going on with y'all? What y'all doing? It's the same thing with Tua got his. I was watching that game when Tua got his concussion, the last one. He I watched the goddamn play. He ran into a dude, fell down. There was no contact to his head or nothing. It was no contact to his head at all. A lot of times you can see what caused the goddamn concussion. The dude was just standing in there, like, kind of like this. and Tua was scrambling, like he went and kind of just kind of fell into him, and then he on the ground. The fuck, he twisted his knee or something, and they were like, concussion. I'm like, concussion? From what? He didn't get hit. He fell into it. There was no head contact or nothing. Where the fuck did he get a concussion from? Where did it come from? I mean, at that point, nigga, you need to fucking retire now. You know what I'm saying? You need to retire right now. If you get a goddamn concussion from sitting the fuck down. But that's basically what the fuck happened. Yeah, so one of our players went out and on that shit, and it's just like, okay. Don't know what, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know. It ain't nothing you can do about that. Dudes out there, they going through all kind of shit, playing the goddamn game. It is what the fuck it is. Like I say, I don't play no more, and I've never been concussed. I've never been in a position where I would be concussed, because I tried not to get hit, and I stopped blindsiding people, so it's looked down upon for knocking motherfuckers a flip, so I couldn't do that. Used to. What else, man? Well, I don't know. It ain't really nothing else to say, to the truth. Oh, what I can pull from this is that, okay, even though all 8 games have been the same, the Texans have lost all 8 games the same way. Except for Minnesota. They've won and lost all their games the same way. The same way that they lost tonight is the same way that they won the other games, except for New England. You know, the same way they lost tonight was the same way they lost the other games, except for Minnesota. Both of those games were kind of whoop. So the only thing you can pull away from this is that, okay, with the games that you expect for them to win. I don't know the order of the games they got coming up, but I know they got Dallas and Jacksonville, and I don't know who else they got coming up before the bye. That might be it. You expect for them to beat Jacksonville, because people done already penciled that shit in. Don't pencil nothing in with this team. You know what I'm saying? Don't pencil shit in. They lost to the fucking Jets. You know what I'm saying? The Jets beat them like, yeah, you know, you think the Jets, oh well, the Jets ain't all that bad. They got, and then the Jets go off and get their ass smacked. So yeah, so that, you know, you expect for them to win that. I didn't expect for them to win this game, except for, you know, after you saw them play, they should have won. You know, going up against Jacksonville, it's like you expect for them to win that game. Now, how are they gonna play when the game comes? Because I don't, you know, are they gonna pull a New England to where they actually beat a team? You know what I'm saying? Where they actually beat a team they supposed to beat? Is that gonna happen? You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never fucking know. They play against Dallas. Dallas is a team that they should beat at this point. Dallas don't have a fucking quarterback right now. I watched the goddamn Dallas game today. That shit was stupid. Cooper Rush sucks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck. They put fucking Trey Lance in there. It wasn't no better. That dude ain't Thursday quite. I can't imagine he had any goddamn reps at all. Wouldn't really want to see him though. I really wouldn't want to see him playing against the Texans, because last time Trey Lance played against the Texans, he whooped their head. So, yeah, when he was with San Francisco, yeah, Texas lost that game against Trey Lance, and it wasn't easy to look at either. He lit they fucking ass up. So that shit, you expect for him that, you know, I would expect for him to win those games. But if, you know, I also expect for those games to be like this. You know what I'm saying? Some 20-point game where it's, you know, a possession in either goddamn direction. And they're not going to be able to do that. They're not. Later on in the season, they're not going to be able to do that. When they got to play Kansas City, or they got to play fucking Baltimore, you ain't going to be able to do that. You still got Tennessee twice. You know what I'm saying? You still got Tennessee twice. And I know people going to pencil that shit in. You cannot pencil those wins in. You can't fucking pencil those things in. They have to play those games to get those wins. You just can't pencil it in. You know, against Baltimore, nah, bruh, come on. And the Baltimore games I done watched, I'm just like, it'll be just like Detroit. I'm like, I don't expect for the Texans to win that. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect for the Texans to win that. Now, Kansas City, if they still playing the same way they playing now, they should beat Kansas City. But everybody who's played Kansas City to this point says they should have beat Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. If they still on this fairy shit that they on, it won't fucking matter. Or you catch fucking Mahomes on a good day, which won't be good. But the Texans got a good scheme as far as disrupting quarterbacks for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So I do see that, because they give quarterbacks a heart attack, at least for a good while. And then, you know, the other team will go and figure some shit out, and then all of a sudden it's not as potent. But we shall see. We shall see. But everybody now said, I said that I was like, man, this is some bullshit, because even though during the first half, when I was seeing shit that I didn't want to fucking see, I was like, these motherfuckers got me out here like Cowboys fans complaining and shit when the team is actually winning. You know what I'm saying? And the Texans don't have the clout for that. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys at some point might have the clout for that, but they ain't won shit in forever, so whatever. But they did have winning football teams season after season, to where making it to the playoffs wasn't good enough. I'm like this, and I would tell my team this at the beginning of the fucking year, because you have to take this shit in stages. You know what I'm saying? This can't be a Super Bowl or bust season or team at all, because you could be a Super Bowl or bust when you've been there. You know what I'm saying? When you've been there, or even close. You know what I'm saying? You got to get an AFC championship before you can get a goddamn Super Bowl. How about let's accomplish that shit? You know what I'm saying? Let's get, you know, my whole thing is like, okay, I would tell my team this. Some motherfuckers might not agree, but if I was a coach, a general manager, or even a fucking owner, I would sit down with my team and tell them this shit. Look, we concerned about one thing at this point. Those 3 other teams in our division. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important. Those 3 other teams, we got to make sure that we smack that ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what teams do. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could, you know, you might have to do some kind of research on coaches talking and shit like that. But that's what teams do. Teams build their rosters to compete within their division. You know what I'm saying? Now, people, you know, you might not hear motherfuckers say this, but this is what they do. They build their teams to compete within their division. If you got a division, they got like the division where you be like, man, a year ago you be like, man, this goddamn division is quarterback heavy. Oh my goodness. Well, turns out, not really. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought that. I was like, man, this division gonna be shit. Woo! Become the quarterbacks with Richardson. You got Levis. You got fucking Lawrence. Forgot his name. I'm like, then you got Stroud in here too. I'm like, man, you have to build your team to confront that. Because if you ain't dealing with the teams in your fucking division, you ain't going nowhere. Unless you just so happen to beat everybody outside the goddamn division. I mean, that's, well, I don't even know about that. That's what, 2, 4, 6. My math, anyway, it's a big ass chunk of your season right there. And you got to be able to compete with that, because you got to play those teams twice. So, yeah. You got to, whatever the strength is of the teams in your division, you kind of build your team to deal with that shit. Everybody on the outside is game by game. You adjust however the fuck you adjust. You're not building your team to play against one motherfucker in another conference and some shit like that. That would be number one. And then that and just getting the playoff spot. That and just getting the playoff spot. You know, the first priority is beating up the people in your goddamn division. Second priority, getting the goddamn playoff spot. And that might flip around depending on how that shit goes. Because you might not be the top team in your shit, but you might win enough to get a wild card or some shit like that. But that's your shit right there. You get a fucking playoff spot, and then all the rest of the shit you can worry about then. You know what I'm saying? All the rest of the stuff you can worry about then. And don't worry about going to the goddamn Super Bowl when you got all this other shit you got to do first. That's what they get motherfuckers penciling in victories, doing all this other shit when they talking about the team. They ain't gonna do this. They should be able to do this. They can do that. They should be able to do that. Blah blah blah. No, well, should, and actually doing it is two different goddamn things. They should have beat the Jets. They should have beat the Lions. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. But they didn't. They lost both of them goddamn games the same fucking way. Beat them up in the first half and then stopped playing in the second. And I'm getting real sick of Bobby Sloyd. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that get it with me is he the one calling the plays. Now, the stupid play shit, that happened twice in the fucking first half. To where I'm just like, bruh, stop running the goddamn ball. Try to at least get the ball upfield. They run his stupid ass reverse. Stop giving Tank Dell the ball in the fucking backfield. He's not a fucking running back. You know what I'm saying? He's not a fucking running back. Stop giving him the ball in the backfield. You give him the ball in open areas on the other side of the goddamn line of scrimmage. Not back here. Stop that. He did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Running the ball one too many goddamn times. Like he always fucking do. Like, bruh, they stuffed you twice. Why are you trying to run the ball? And if you ain't doing that, it's like, okay, we get to one of those positions like in the first half. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was either in the first half or the start of the second. Just, oh yeah, well, that's when they got pushed all the way back. You run the ball, they like second and 30 or some shit. And they just hand the ball off. Nigga, won't you just punt it right then? You know what I'm saying? If that's what you gonna do, just punt the ball on fucking second down. You can do that. There's no rule say you can't punt the ball on second down. If that's what you gonna do, just fucking do it. You just gonna sit there and hand the ball off. You not finna break off no 30-yard goddamn run. You know what I'm saying? You not. The likelihood of it happening is very, very low, I guess. But you're not. That type of shit. You start playing clock ball. I'm like, man, you gotta at least, they know you finna run the ball when you do shit like that. Well, that's the time you catch them off guard. If you already designed yourself to punt the goddamn ball, okay, well, we probably gonna end up punting the ball anyway. Yeah, let's try to make some yards. Let's try to make some yards. Don't just keep giving the ball to fucking Joe Mixon flat-footed, which is stupid. Joe Mixon is somebody, you want to give him the ball while he's moving. Don't give him the ball flat-footed. That is not his strong suit. Give a damn what nobody say. I don't give a damn what he say. It's not his fucking strong suit. Don't give him the ball flat-footed. Give him the ball with some momentum. If you give him the ball flat-footed, all he can do is just run into the back of the fucking offensive line. He's a good running back. He ain't the most elusive motherfucker. He ain't the fastest motherfucker. He's somebody that you can give the ball to who generally falls forward. That seems to be diminishing his work a lot, but that's what I see. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. And if the offensive line ain't just opening up holes, which they weren't, you know what I'm saying? Give a damn who you is. If the offensive line not opening up holes, he ain't going nowhere. That goes for all running backs. Even Derrick Henry, big ass. And that's what happened to him last year when he played against the Texans. The Titans wouldn't open it up no holes. That motherfucker, I think he had like 20, 30 yards or something in that game. They kept giving him the ball. Wouldn't know where to fucking run. You know, stop giving that man the ball flat-footed. And I say this damn near every week. Damn, every week I see the Texans play. It's the same goddamn thing. I'm watching the run plays. I'm like, you stop doing that. You know, you back there in the pistol or the shotgun. Boom, you catch the ball. You give it to him. He just standing there. And then he gotta, and before he can even get 2 or 3 steps, there's people in the fucking backfield. Fucking. And then it don't really work because when you bunch shit up and you run a standard I or some shit like that, well, they know you finna run the ball at that point. It really don't matter what the fuck you do. You know, the play calling is still suspect. It looked good in the first half, but in the second half, nope. You got the one play, 2 plays right off the top that were bullshit because those were CJ Stroud mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And then the last play they had, which kind of flipped the game over. You know what I'm saying? For me, it didn't really flip the game that much, but the last play where they didn't get that pass interference call, where it was clearly pass interference, because it was a 4th down goddamn play. You know, they didn't get the pass interference call, turnover on downs, they run out the clock, kick the game, win the field goal. Now, if they'd have caught that, chances are they would have moved the ball a little bit and burnt out the clock to kick a field goal, which they probably, you know, percentage-wise probably would have hit and won the game. But you know what? If that would have happened, that would not have changed any of the shit that I just said. Because the frustrating part is that they weren't supposed to be in that position to start with. You know what I'm saying? That would have invalidated nothing I just said. Everything I said in this video would have stood right where I said it, except for they would have won the game. Just, I can't, and while the play calling, well, the second half, the play calling was shit. First half, okay. There was nothing in this game, hey girl, there's nothing in this game where I would say that I would blame the players. You know what I'm saying? Before now, the offensive line was the catalyst for all the bullshit. Now, I'm like, I can't really say that. I can't really blame the players for the outcome of this game. Now, I can blame the player, Titus Howard, for causing that goddamn fumble with CJ Stroud. I'm just waiting to hear motherfuckers bring that shit up. You know, that's like the only player fault in this whole game. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is coaching. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is coaching. Well, CJ, those two interceptions was bullshit. They were bullshit on the behalf of CJ Stroud. This shit shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? CJ Stroud, you know, if you've been a Houston Texans fan watching CJ Stroud, he's one of those people that when he does this and throw the ball, you expect for whatever they want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that is not the case lately. Now, if he pulls back and throws the ball, you don't know what the fuck about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that we got out catching the ball aren't really proven. Sometimes, like he throw the ball, like to sometimes the Hutchinson to get a couple of targets where it just looked like, I'm just like, dude looked like he wasn't gonna catch the ball at all. You know what I'm saying? Even though you throw the ball to him, it just looked like, I don't know, you look at one of those top end receivers and they throw the ball to him and they be like, oh, even though that ball got to be knocked out or defended some kind of goddamn way. It don't look like, it just look like they just there like, throw the ball to him, they like, That's what it looks like. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's irritating to watch. But he had a couple catches, I think. Mitchell had a touchdown, so shit. And Dale did have some catches, but it wasn't no big game type of shit. Shit was kind of spread around. You know what I'm saying? It really was. It was kind of spread around. But I'm like, man, that's when I thought the offense was like, okay, they done figured some shit out. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. You figure some shit out with your top two receivers out, because I haven't forgot about that. What this game would have been if you'd have had Diggs and Collins. It'd have been a different game. But you don't know how different. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. You don't, because that changes the whole dynamic of what's going on the field. So having your top two receivers in there, why you be like, okay, shoot, we got our top two, we got all our weapons. For some weird ass reason, they could have caused you to lose by 50 points or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just you never fucking know. You know, you just can't take two pieces out and put two extra pieces in that you think are better and expect for shit to work. They don't do that all the time. They don't always do that all the time. So yeah. But I am figuring that shit in there. But even then, they wasn't supposed to be. They supposed to be able to operate with who they had on the field and pull this shit out. Even last week, same thing. They should have been able to operate with who you had on the field and pull that shit out. At least fucking, at least he didn't get sacked 8 goddamn times. They did start getting back there, but it's one of them things. You can say what the fuck you want to say about Stroud, but he ain't the most mobile motherfucker. He's not. He ain't running away from nobody. And he ain't for to scoot away from nobody either. You know what I'm saying? The only times he's on the run and it looked like he, you know what I'm saying, got some space between him and whoever chasing him, is because that space was already there. You know what I'm saying? He ain't pulling away from shit. The whole time he running, he getting gained on. And I don't, you know, the receivers that's out there now, I don't know, the scramble drill don't seem to work all that well. And that's one of them things I'm sick of seeing in the NFL right now, is the rolling out to the right shit, I guess because everybody's right-handed or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm so sick of everybody rolling out to the right and throwing to the fucking sideline. Once you see that shit a million goddamn times, you don't want to see it no goddamn more. Everybody roll out to the right, throw it to the goddamn sideline. I'm just like, every game. You know what I'm saying? It's every goddamn game. Every goddamn quarterback, if you end up rolling, you roll out to the right, and you're throwing to a motherfucker right down the gut. I'm sick of it. I am. I'm sick. I don't want to see this shit no more. I don't want to see no more motherfuckers rolling out to the right throwing this shit. Like I said, because even when I'm watching, I'm just like, why you keep throwing to the right? Every so often, it'll be a pass off to the left. They don't test motherfuckers up the field enough. They did it once, they got a fucking pass interference. Well, that's more reason for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just You know. Now, that one pass they did throw over there was to Hutchinson, and they don't have those type of receivers on this team. Even Nico Collins. Nico Collins is not a jump ball guy. Even though he has that size where you would think he was, where you think he is, he might be. But they don't use him like that. They don't use him as a jump ball guy. Like if we get him one-on-one up the field, we just gonna throw that 50-50 up there. See what he do. Texans don't do that. I think the Texans are so stuck on the high percentage, you know what I'm saying, passes, that they lose out on the downfield shit. They'll get some downfield shit every so often. Well, it just so happened that, like when fucking Schultz end up down the field, boop, you hit him, and he take off running, which is something I noticed. You know, boom, he catch the ball, he take off running. Yeah, he on the left side of the field. Boom, you know, he ain't running from nobody, but I'm like, okay, he switched the ball, which is what you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to switch the ball to your outside hand, not your inside hand where everybody's coming to tackle you from. So he caught the ball, immediately switched the ball to his right hand, and started running up the goddamn field. I'm like, stupid ass, what are you doing? And then, instead of just running upfield, he gonna try to stutter, step, stop, and do just some stupid ass spin move that didn't go nowhere. I'm just like, just run up the fucking field, stupid ass. Yeah, just run up the field. You not Barry goddamn Sanders. Run your white ass up the fucking field. You ain't for the spin move nobody. Run. You want to run right up the field. You gonna run out of bounds anyway. Just run up the goddamn field. He gonna, you know, motherfucker gonna try to stop like he gonna cut back and go upfield. No, you not. No, you not. You faster than me, but you ain't faster than none of them DBs out there. Just run your ass straight up the goddamn field. You don't see tight ends tooking and juking and shit like that. No, you don't. You don't see that. There's tight ends out there that are fast, but they ain't juking and juking shit. There's some tight ends out there where if they break, they gone. You know what I'm saying? They not slow, but they not be like, They ain't none of that shit for the fucking happen. Dalton Schultz ain't got none of it. He just want motherfucker to catch the ball. Put the ball in the wrong goddamn hand and run upfield. I don't know, man. I saw that and it stuck in my fucking head. I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, dude. What are you doing? The ball goes in the outside hand. I don't know. It just, he took one step. Yeah. I wonder if they gonna point that out in film. I wonder if they gonna point that out in film. They should. Cat, I'm gonna feed you in a minute, okay? There you go. Yeah, they gonna point that out in film. They gonna ream the fuck out of fucking Titus Howard. After that shit, he might ain't play next week. You know what I'm saying? After that shit, he might not even play next week. I wouldn't be surprised if they just like, you know what, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. I don't know what the fuck that was. That's why I couldn't be a goddamn coach. There was one motherfucker come down. There wasn't no penalty or no shit like that. But it was like on a punt. Texas punt the goddamn ball. Somebody ran downfield to do fair catch. Boom, he caught the ball. And one of the Texas players just ran up to the guy. You know how you just kind of run up to the guy because you got the momentum and blah. He run up to the guy, did some, you know how they fucking running him out, and just pushed the dude. I'm sitting there screaming at the TV like, nigga, what are you doing? The dude just caught the ball. I mean, he could have been saying anything. You can't really see. Motherfucking helmet on. And he come down there and just and pushed the dude. Like, it wasn't like a little bump into him. Like, no, he ain't getting no penalty or nothing. But I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I could be a coach. I'm like, they don't fine you motherfuckers for doing dumb shit in the game. They must don't. Like I said, I couldn't be a coach. I couldn't be a GM. I couldn't be an owner. Because I'm like, every time I see your head do this shit right here, I will find your ass. Keep your fucking mouth shut. You here to play football. You out there pushing and shit, fine. No, it ain't none of that shit going on my goddamn team. Now, if a motherfucker come up to you, knock you on the ground, well, that's the whole goddamn story. But even then, if you just up and just yapping and pushing and shoving and shit like that, fine, baby. Fine. Make motherfuckers think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Freeze the whole motherfucking goddamn game check or some shit, dude. You know, all that type of dumbass shit just irks the hell out of me. Even watching this game, I'm just like, you know what? I don't know when it happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it happened during those years where I was working on Sundays and shit like that. But they really need to bring back the flag for celebrations. The shit is fucking ridiculous. They need to bring back the flag for celebrations. I don't know when it stopped, but it needs to start back up. And they had it to where you could do all your celebrations, but you had to get the fuck off the field. You could do all the dancing and rehearse goddamn shows and shit you want to do on your fucking sideline. Do that shit on your sideline. You do that shit on the goddamn unsportsmanlike 15 yards. They need to bring that shit back. They do. They need to bring it back. I'm so sick of these goddamn celebrations. It's fucking ridiculous. Very few motherfuckers just catch the ball, boom, or run the ball in, boom, and maybe spike the ball and go, yeah, and then run off the fucking field. No, they got the whole goddamn team doing some whole goddamn production. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? You supposed to only have limited time and practice during the goddamn week. When are y'all motherfuckers, what are y'all doing somewhere rehearsing goddamn dance moves? Because a lot of this shit you ain't just making up on the goddamn spot. They got whole choreographed shit. They got the offensive linemen and everybody on the goddamn offense or defense, if they got an interception or some shit, will do this. It's just like you get a fucking interception. Boom. They'll run all the way to the goddamn end zone, 50 goddamn yards, and do some weird ass bullshit. Flag, man. What happened to the flag? Can we get that shit back? Can we? We need to get that shit back. I'm sick of this shit. Because the funny part is, when you watching highlights and shit like that, when you're watching highlights and all this other shit, most times they cut off of this shit. You know, they score the touchdown and right before they start, they cut their shit and go to something else. When you watching highlight shows and shit like that, a lot of times they won't show the little stupid ass dances and shit people do. And why everybody gotta celebrate first down? It's just like, I don't want to do what everybody else doing. So everybody get it first down, and it's the same shit. I watch all the goddamn games that come on my TV. So, and get it first down, everybody got to go. Like, really, you saw, y'all motherfuckers so sheepish that, you know, one motherfucker started this shit, now everybody fucking does it. You look real dumb. And motherfuckers do that shit whether they win or lose. Motherfucker be down 30 points, get a first down. You get a first down, get a ball to the ref, get your ass back in a goddamn hole. You know what I'm saying? Get back in a fucking huddle. What are you dancing for? You didn't score. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really done nothing all that goddamn special, motherfuckers. Get your ass back in the fucking Motherfucker get a 1 yard run for a first down. Flag, man. Flag. Get your ass out of here. I'm the one that's sitting for first down. I'm the ref, not you. Get your ass out of here. Ejection from the game. Disqualification. Stupid ass conduct. Okay. It's irritating for me to watch. Because that shit goes against my personality these days. Now, when I was in high school, I wouldn't know. I don't know if I was a celebrating type. Probably not. I probably would have celebrated a little bit. I do remember I got a sack one time and I went like that. Well, that shit didn't happen all that often. I do remember I did that at one point. I don't know where that shit came from, but you know, I was in high school. Yeah. Any other time, nigga, got them celebrations and shit. But even though that was a while back, they wasn't doing all that stupid ass choreographed shit they got now, where they got a whole goddamn Broadway show going on in the goddamn end zone for 10 goddamn seconds. And they probably still do. I think if the shit go on too long, I think they do time that shit probably. If it go on too long, they probably will throw a flag on it. They real lenient on it. They're very lenient on it. Too lenient. So yeah. Anyway, I don't have shit else to say about the Texans. Right now, the outlook on the rest of the season is not bleak. You know what I'm saying? This is a game I expected for them to lose, but my whole thing was, how you gonna play against this team? And if they are able to do what they did against the Lions today, after I've seen the Lions play, the rest of the season shouldn't be all that goddamn different. But you have to win those games. You just can't go pistoling in shit. And they got some well, they probably gonna get some players back, but you never know with injuries. They get some players back, some other players going out. They lost a defensive lineman today too, so you gotta just gotta take it week by week. But it ain't the sky is falling. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the sky is falling where it's like, so it's a disaster. So, I mean, CJ would have to get hurt, or Mixon would have to get hurt, or some shit like that, for you to be like, okay, the Texas season is done. You know, anything like that. Now it's just like, okay, they fucked off this game, but this ain't no different from anybody else they done played. And they don't play nobody else of this caliber, at least for a few weeks from now. You know what I'm saying? At least for a few weeks from now. They got some time. You know what I'm saying? They got a couple games they can get themselves back on their feet. Kind of build some kind of confidence, because like I said, this 23-20 or 26-20 game or whatever the fuck it was, that shit counts for something. It does. It counts for something. When you watch all the rest of the teams that they done blew out the fucking water, you know what I'm saying? Didn't have a fucking chance from the get-go. You know, it's just, okay, well, they played the Lions like this. We're at least as good as the Lions against the Lions. You can say that. But you got to take that with you when you play against Dallas. You got to take that with you when you play against Jacksonville. And you got to have that with you when you go against Baltimore or fucking Kansas City and the Titans. They might got, is somebody I missing? Pittsburgh? Do they play Pittsburgh? I don't know. But you gotta have that shit with you. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We are this good right here. It's your watermark. We are this good. The only thing that fucks that up is that fucking Minnesota loss, which is just horrible, but whatever. That was a road game, and it is what it is. And we at least got that. So we shouldn't have problems playing with anybody. Now, Stroud was like, yeah, we have a great team. No, you don't. You don't have a great team. You're fucking 6-4. 6-4 teams aren't great. 6-4 teams don't have y'all's game record. I ain't talking about the game record, but the way that y'all been playing throughout this whole goddamn season. No, that's not great. Not even close. It's barely good. You know what I'm saying? It's barely good. So yeah, you can take that elsewhere. But they have a good enough team to be able to compete with everybody that's coming. I thought they was gonna get their ass whooped in this game. They didn't. They whooped their own ass. The Lions didn't do it. I made a post today on Facebook. I'm like, the Texans about to get their butthole expanded about 4 times. Well, that didn't happen. I mean, they sprayed their own cheeks. The Lions didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's been the running gag for this goddamn team. They hadn't really got beat except for Minnesota. They beat themselves. If they lost, it was because of some shit they did, not particularly what the other team did to them. So now you go to the Jets where motherfuckers catching circus passes and shit like that. And I'm just like, you gotta just throw your hands up. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking catching one-handed passes all over the place and shit. Just like, can't blame nobody for some of that shit. You can't. You got motherfuckers out here snatching passes out the air with one hand, except for that touchdown for the Jets. Should have been a touchdown. That man's leg was out of bounds. All that shin and other shit. It's the fucking knee. It's the fucking knee. His knee landed out of goddamn bounds. They gave him a touchdown because they were talking about his shin landed in bounds. Motherfucker, this is all one part. You know what I'm saying? This is all one goddamn part. That's like saying, okay, he stepped out of bounds, but his toe hit in bounds first before his heel hit out of bounds. So it was, no, it don't work like that. You can't divide the foot into parts. You can't divide his leg into parts. It's the knee. The knee landed out of bounds. Shouldn't have been a fucking touchdown. Great catch, but that shouldn't have been a touchdown. They got screwed on that. That would have turned the game. You know what I'm saying? The same way that the last play with the Texans with the no call for the pass interference would have turned the game. But it's one of those things. Like I said earlier, you shouldn't have been in that position to start with. All this is stuff that happened after you should have already been and did what you were supposed to do and been well up by then. Now you at the mercy of the football gods sprinkling shit. Yeah, here goes some good luck for you. It's good luck for you. No luck for you. No luck for you. I'm coming, cat. Let me feed this cat. I ain't got nothing else to say about the goddamn Texans. So I'm finna go in here and watch these goddamn podcasts and watch them say everything that I just said. That's why I come outside or I go sit down at my desk and I do these Talking Texans before I watch any of that shit. And then I go back in and watch the professionals and see how many of them say the same shit I see. So I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.